This is a story that there was not a lot of coverage of, but it is very disturbing. An anti-vaccine, anti-gay street preacher has reportedly killed his own wife because God told him to. This is a wacky, wacky story. An anti-vaccine street preacher has been arrested for allegedly killing his own wife and allegedly admitting it. So there's not too much doubt here, but we're still being legally careful. The victim is a 25-year-old Kansas woman named Regan Marek. She previously played goalie for the Kansas University women's soccer team. At the time, her name was Regan Gibbs on the team roster. Her husband is 26-year-old Chad Marek, suggesting Marek is her married last name. According to police, Chad Marek called 911 on himself after this incident. The wife was dead when emergency crews arrived. Tragic and disturbing story. The suspect was one of these street preachers who get a bullhorn and they do religious stuff in populated areas and talk about Jesus. He would also post videos online, which I'm not going to be playing today. And in those videos, he would attack COVID vaccines as spreading the spirit of the Antichrist. He would warn people that they are coming from your children. Who is the they? Well, he would also warn that the LGBTQ agenda is coming for your children. So seemingly that's what he means. He allegedly told police God told him to kill his wife. Quote from Fox 4's Sheree Honeycutt. He called police and said he has killed his wife. Did he possibly say why he may have done that? And a police representative said, quote, he told us that God told him to do it. So this is one of those cases where, you know, when we talk about the Buffalo shooter from now close to roughly 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, the right very quickly jumped to this is just a mentally ill person, completely disconnected from politics in all ways. Just there's nothing political here. Doesn't pass the sniff test. We look at the manifesto from the Buffalo shooter and we see that it's cogent fascism. It is very much seemingly coherently parroting and mirroring the substance of the great replacement theory, etc. stuff that we've seen parroted by people like Tucker Carlson on Fox News and others. And yes, to some degree, we can also say, well, most mentally ill people never commit violence and lots of people believe things that are wrong. There's an additional element here, which certainly could be a factor. Nobody's denying that, but we can't ignore the very real kind of political basis for the crime, at least in terms of the beliefs. In this case, this was an anti-vax pastor, preacher. I guess preacher is the right word. An anti-gay preacher, etc. But it seems very secondary to this particular crime. God told me to kill my own wife. This case, to create a contrast is the point. It seems way more plausible to say the main thing here was some form of mental illness. Now, of course, we're diagnosing from a distance, or not really diagnosing, but we're evaluating and speculating from a distance. In both cases, we would need to know more and have more firsthand knowledge. But the point here is to say, when we cover up an incident by saying it's only mental illness, we often intuitively say it doesn't really make sense here. These are the perfect contrasts. When we say, well, mental illness for the Buffalo shooter, very specific, politically charged and cogent manifesto. Mental illness there has a very obviously different meaning than in this particular case where a guy allegedly killed his wife because God told him to. Not saying that there aren't multiple factors to all of these stories, but it should at least allow us to see how different the meaning of mental illness can or might be in different stories. Let me know if you agree with the distinction I'm drawing here in what are admittedly tragic events and very complicated events to understand. Let me know your thoughts. We'll take a quick break and be right back.